Okay, guys, we're going to try this again. We're back just strictly on YouTube and Twitter, Facebook being Facebook. It's all stems from me being hacked, trying to get a new account. And then now Facebook. I hate Facebook. I hate Facebook. So we're just going to run with YouTube tonight. So let me see if I can get our guests back here. Just bear with me. I apologize. So let's see. Come on, internet. Just kind of bear with me. I'm sending the invitations now, and we will see what happens now. So hopefully things will work out a little bit for us tonight. That'd be one in a row, wouldn't it? But then again, y'all kind of know what happens with Facebook. So it's just Facebook's impossible. So let me send a little text to the guys to get them back on. And let's see what happens. Just kind of bear with me. Well, let's bring on Lizzie. Hey, Lizzie.
Oh, hello.
Facebook is acting up. Here's Phil. Let's just, as they come in, I'm going to bring them in.
All right.
So there's Philip.
Hey.
And we'll get the other two back in here in a minute. Facebook is being Facebook. Y'all know out there that I was hacked and I had to completely set up a completely new account, which I did. And now Facebook has gotten something that says it's suspended. I hate Facebook.
You and me both, Jeff.
Oh, God, I hate Facebook. So I'll have to deal with that later. I'll get it all straightened out before Monday night. Here is my brother from another mother. Well, I'll have to deal with man. All straightened out. And now we got a real big delay, I think. But
no, that might have been me, Jeff.
So we'll see if we get let's get the other George's Jungle back.
So we are live now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We are indeed.
Oh, cool.
But not on Facebook.
I typed on the Facebook page that we're on YouTube tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? And all I've got's green tea. What's everybody else got?
Get that man a Modelo.
Yeah, I need one. Actually, I need about a half a dozen.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, what are you drinking, Mumbles?
I've got coffee.
Single malt?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee.
Phil is drinking water, probably.
Yeah, I got some ice water. I don't want to risk making a fool of myself.
Well, we're going to try to get George of the Jungle back here. Maybe I better call him. He's,
He probably thought you gave him the boot.
Probably. He's got his phone turned off now.
So did you say hello to all the visitors?
Yeah, we did, and not everybody, because I've been busy. John, I sent you another link. Yes, indeed. All right. Okay, now you're seeing the inner workings, people. So let's go through this again. Mark Thomas, deja vu. Yes, it's no cryptocurrency there, Mark. And Gene T, glad you came back. And Maria. Andrew T's back. Big Poppy is in the house. And Eric Schaefer. Hello, Eric. Jane P says she's here, but she's not all there. Have you been drinking, Jane? We all need a drink today, let me tell you. Metal Detecting the 6 with Prospector Steve. Looter 8 is in the house. And let's see. Oh, you're making a fashion statement, Phil. Joe Vizzi is enthralled.
Yeah.
There is Mr. Place in the Dirt, John David.
Yeah.
Just saying hello to people.
Welcome back, John.
And,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was waiting.
let's see who else is here. Metal Detecting North Carolina. Hello. Glad you're here. I think that's pretty much Drum Detect. Hey, how you doing? Glad you joined us tonight. So let's proceed. And for all of you out there who don't know these fine people, you all know Liz, and you probably know Phil. But if you don't, I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. Phil, why don't you start? And then John, and then the Mumbles Man. So go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell everybody a little bit about you.
Okay. You ready for me, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm first. So I'm Phil Myers, of course, from Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida. And you might see me once in a while on Treasure Talk.
Yeah.
Monday nights from 7 to 8. Every once in a while I'm there. So I enjoy metal detecting. I've used just about every detector there is. And I even brought some treasure to show tonight. I don't know if I can get this in the picture.
Oh my.
Okay, all these are, well, you really can't see them, but
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
these are all found in Tampa, Florida at Fort Brooke, which was 1820s, 1870s. And I've had a good time over the years. It's pretty much all built on now, but I found quite a few artifacts there. And that's kind of my passion. I beach hunt because I like to find gold, but I'd rather find some Florida history. I just enjoy that.
Okay, cool. He's my brother from another mother.
Me? Okay, I'm John David, alias Plays in the Dirt. I've been metal detecting, I guess, 7, 8 years straight now. I've been doing it before that when my kids were little. I hooked up with the Mumbles man, and we've been together and bumped into Jeff and Phil and all that. So we kind of all just grew together. I don't have the finds that Phil has there. Mine probably fit in a cup, but they're my finds, and I'm proud of them. Oh. And I love metal detecting.
Well, before you put them in the cup, John, pour out the amber liquid that's in the cup.
Well, that's true. I said to clean them with alcohol.
True.
But
right.
I do like it, and I'll leave it to Tim now.
Hi, Tim Naylor. I'm also from sunny Tampa, Florida. I've been metal detecting a few years, and like John said, we met Jeff a couple years after we hooked up, and we all flocked to Phil's metal detecting sales.
Nice.
Yeah, we do. We do. And that's really, it was funny because, and how Phil and I hooked up. And what it was, this was, I don't know, this has been a lot of years ago. I wanted to buy an Excalibur. So I searched all around the internet looking for a used one. And just so happens, Phil's name came up. So I contacted him. I said, you got one on a straight shaft? He says, yes, I do. It's a used one. I said, okay, cool. I said, I want to have it modified. I want the remote pinpoint switch on it. And he says, well, I think I know a guy that can probably do that. And I says, okay, good. I said, this is what I got to do. I'm on my way to Italy So if you can, I'll take it. If you can ship it to the guy, have him put the remote pinpoint switch on it, and then have it when I get back, because I get back like on a Wednesday, and that Friday I'm heading to Fort Myers to beach hunt for a few days. And I had an old scoop, a river scoop. It was a stealth scoop, but it was one of the 90-degree scoops. And it didn't take you long to sell that one, did it, Phil?
No, I don't think so. That's not as popular as they used to be. Everybody now wants that angle on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this one, they were just, I came across it over in Biloxi, and so I picked it up. And on the way back, when I got back from Italy, the detector was here and everything was great. So on my way back up home from Fort Myers, we stopped at Phil's shop because I told him I was going to bring him in that scoop, and then everything's been history. It just kind of, we gelled. I think, we've become very, very close. And then when I met Jon and Tim, it was right here in Madison. We was over at the place we call the Silver Pocket, and they were out with another fella, and I was over at this place with my grandson, and they pulled up, and so we all detected for a while, and we just decided, we liked the cut of each other's jib, so to speak, and we've become very, very close ever since. And then, of course, with the Diggin' Canuck, my sister from another mister, although we have never hunted together,
No.
we've become very, very close in our friendship. And it's just, like I said in the outset, it's not what you find in this hobby, it's the relationships that you make. And I myself have been extremely, extremely fortunate. You see these people on the screen, it doesn't get any better than that in my mind. I mean, anything I need, I can call them and it's done. And they know the same thing with me. So that's the kind of relationships that you can find in this hobby. And I hope everyone out there will be, getting some of those relationships. And it just doesn't get any better than that. What do you guys think?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know that I've not met any of these fine gentlemen on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that one day I will probably meet them all, and I'm hoping that we will be detecting as well together along a beach somewhere in Florida.
Well, Lizzie, now that the travel restrictions are kind of lifted, and let's hope they stay that way. Mm-hmm. In Canada, you guys like to, vacation in Florida. So mm-hmm. I think it'd be a perfect time to come down to Florida. Mm-hmm. Yes. In the late spring when the water starts getting real nice and warm, and Jon will come down. I'll come down to Tampa. We'll get the Mumbles Man and the Guru, and we'll all have a good old time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. We'll do a big live spot from Phil's shop.
And I just want to say that I know people have commented already in the chat, but Phil's shirt is off the charts. It's just off the charts.
Yes. Well, we'll get Phil to seed the beach for us with that.
Yeah, I had to wear it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he's why don't you stand up and give us a little spin around?
Yeah, see?
Wow.
All right.
I don't want to show off my gut. So.
You know what? And it's not even Christmas yet.
Yes. I'm getting ready for Christmas. That's right.
That's right. That's right. And you know what it was? Earlier, I think, wasn't Monday Canadian Thanksgiving? So you were kind of in a turkey coma, Liz?
Yeah, we had our last leftovers today. Oh my goodness.
Yes. They're good.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ricky T said somebody paid me $20 to take this shirt.
And Gene P just said, I thought your shirt was on fire there for a minute. I tell you, Rick, the only thing I can say about Phil's shirt is We close.
But you know, if you ain't first, you're last.
That's right.
True.
That's
Yeah.
right. You're setting the trend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're setting the trend. Although I have to say, I think I'm going to skip that trend, Phil.
Okay.
We're going to let you wear that one all the time.
Okay.
You know.
For sure.
So we've all had some adventures together. I know. Unfortunately, a lot of times Phil has to stay and man the store because when you do have a brick and mortar store, and people kind of make fun of me because I always say, if Phil doesn't have it in stock, you probably don't need it. Well, that's pretty much a true statement. He's got everything in stock. So a lot of times Phil can't come on our adventures. And when we went to England last year, or was it last year, Tim?
Yes, it was.
Well, it was just Tim and I. John wanted to go, but he was having some health problems and wasn't able to go. But we spent a lot of time at the beach, all three of us, and we don't drink a lot of Modelo or anything down there at the beach.
Mm-mm.
Do
Not
we?
available.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
think it's
That's right. You
available, is
can't
it?
find it there.
Right.
No. And however, we have been known to eat some Nutty Buddies.
Oh.
Ice cream
John?
truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, you ask John when we're out on the beach, you say, John, have you found a bunch of clad? No. I said, oh, I thought you did. He said, well, the ice cream truck came by. So John digs clad, buys the ice cream truck.
Right on.
Funny.
Good
How
stuff.
you buy it?
Now that must you must be talking about Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
There's
the
no
last
ice
time
cream
we were
trucks
there.
on our beaches.
Yeah, well, the last time we were there, Tim and I, the ice cream truck guy stopped us and, hey, where's John? I miss him.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, the things that we've done is precipitated other things. And I think you all are familiar with the Blue Spade Society. And started that. I had an idea for it. John, it was named for John because John has some serious health problems, and sometimes he's just not able to get out and do like everybody else. So we were going to detecting one day. We had a hunt set up, and John had been over a couple days before that, and he loved the color blue. So, excuse me. When he got his MyLab Equinox, he went to Steve's Detector Rods and got a electric blue shaft. Now, the thing you have to realize about John, he loves blue, so his car is blue, and his walker that he takes with him is blue, which we call it Blue Thunder. So he had went and he had painted his shovel blue. So me and Tim, being the people that we are,
Wise guys.
yeah, I called Tim and I said, John painted his dang shovel blue. He says, okay, let's do this. We're going to paint ours blue. We're not going to tell him. So we painted ours blue, and we went to the hunt, and John had not seen him. So we're standing there, and he turns around, and we holding up our blue spades. He was a little bit surprised there. And so we decided right then to set up a group for people that have some kind of an infirmity or challenge, of veterans and people with PTSD. I know Tim has a condition, Liz has a condition, vertigo, that qualifies. Is for people that have some kind of a condition that is debilitating, and that can be very, very debilitating. So we decided the Blue Spade Society is going to be a group for people that want to join that even if you want to be a mentor, you don't have to have a disability. If you just want to be a mentor and help people, and we've discussed it, and Liz has been kind enough to give us her expertise, as is Phil. And Phil, he just goes one better to show you what kind of a guy he is. He says, I tell you what, why don't I sponsor the Blue Spade Society? So anybody that calls Phil's shop and you're a member of the Blue Spade Society, which it doesn't cost anything, you mention the Blue Spade Society and he gives you a discount. Now you can't beat that with a big stick. So the Blue Spade Society is growing. Liz has been kind enough to get on board and help promote the Blue Spade Society. So those are the kind of things that can come out of the relationships that you make along the way. So, that's kind of a little history of kind of what we've been doing. And I see John is wearing a Blue Spade Society shirt.
Yes, he is.
I got several of them.
Yeah, cool. So let's just turn around. Phil, we know he swings a shop full of detectors. And I think, Liz, why don't we tell everybody what you are swinging?
I still have my XP ORX, which I absolutely love. That ORX has found me more rings than any other detector I've ever had. Recently, I am now swinging the XP Deus 2, and I gotta say, I ordered it and purchased it with the big 11-inch coil, which for me was a mistake, but I just want to thank Jean, who's in the chat, for swapping coils with me, and I now swing the smaller coil, which I absolutely love.
And we know what Phil swings numbers of different machines. I think you really like the Deus 2 and then the Tarsace, don't you, Phil?
Yeah, the Deus 2 and the Tarsace is the ones I'm taking to the beach when I go. Also, I have a CTX, I have an Excalibur, I have a Equinox, and I have a Legend I've used a little bit. I haven't used that one much, but it's an impressive detector too.
Yeah.
I think that the consumer today has so many good choices of detectors to choose from that are multi-purpose. It's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I would say without a doubt. John, what are you? What's your detectors of choice?
Okay. I have the Legend, and I love it. That's a come home boy type machine. I have my Equinox 600. That's my other beach machine, but it's riding in the closet a little bit. But I also use it on dirt. And then my main dirt machine that I use, because I haven't really got the Legend zeroed in yet, is my Technetic T2, which I love that machine. It's just all purpose. So I have a couple more in the closet, but they're as old as you, Jeff.
What?
I have two more in the closet, but they're as old as you.
Oh, it ain't nothing old as me.
Well, one of them was my father. He used to metal detect when he got it back in the 60s or 70s. And another one I found alongside the road. And I don't even know what brand it is. I guess somebody missed the gold thing or something like that. There's not even a label on it.
Well, now we know where it's at. So if everybody's missing one, John probably has it in his closet.
It's my loaner.
That's right. That's right.
No, but that's enough. I'm a senior in age and all that. I don't know how many more years I'll be out physically able to do it, but I'll do it as long as I can. And I have more than enough armament right now to keep me busy.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're going to drag you out as long as we can get your.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Grab me by the earlobe and pull me.
Yeah. What about you, Mumbles?
The only thing I have right now is the Deus 2. I used to have the Equinox. I was satisfied with it, but changed and went with the Deus 2.
Yep, that's what I've got. I've got 2 Deus 2, and I noticed that Calabash was in the chat tonight. And yes, I do love the Deus 2 on the beach. It's one of the finest machines that I've ever used on the beach.
Yes.
And I tell you what, it just runs as quiet as it can be, and it's deep, and it's just it's a real pleasure to swing in the water. Even I'm not a dry sander, so I seldom dry sand, but I do a little bit of wet sand, and it works perfectly. I cannot find fault with it at all. Even for a dirt machine, I've just recently, set up some, personal programs on it. So I haven't really got a chance to set those, into motion yet to try them, but I'm going to this next week. So in my mind, that is probably the premier detector on the planet right now, very closely followed by the Not the Legend, I have to say.
Yeah.
So.
I think so.
So there is that. And I think that a lot of people are using the Deus 2 now. You're selling a lot of Deus 2s too, aren't you, Phil?
Yes, it's a more expensive model, but the people who are really serious into the hobby and they want something that they can go deeper than the other detectors if they want to dive. Most people say, yes, I am a diver, but I don't think they take the detector diving. But they have that ability if they wanted to. They can go deeper than 10 feet. And it's an awesome detector, and we're selling quite a few of them. And I just think people like them.
Yeah, well, Calabash says he's got over 170 hours of diving with it. So the waterproofing is really good on it. And that's something too, I have to tell you, that as soon as I got the Deus 2, and I think you and I talked about it, Phil, and I know you and I did, Tim, that it just looks like it's built to last. And I did not have any qualms at all about taking it out in the water whatsoever, where I did with the Equinox, I have to say. So that's what we've been using. I know the last time you and I hunted together, Phil, that's all we were using was the Deus 2.
Yeah, it's awesome. It goes deep, like Calabash says. It goes deep in the water and the wet sand. So it's just an awesome unit.
And they're kind of ahead of the curve with the bone conductive headphones. Now I really like those.
Yes, you're going to see those probably made for other manufacturers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because they're less expensive, and it's nice not having to wear a ball cap. You could wear a different type of hat with those if you're a waiter, or you could just dive with them. So they're not.
Yes, indeed. So what's your opinion on the Deus 2, Liz?
I like it. I'm still learning it. I don't claim to be an expert or anything like that. I've been watching a lot of Gary Blackwell's videos.
Yeah, he's a good one.
On the Deus 2. I just put in his Nero 1 program and Nero 2 program, kind of like cherry picking. So I'm looking forward to using those programs. I kind of got stuck just using the Park program, which I don't want to get stuck in a program. So I'm just starting to experiment with some other stuff. But I mean, like I said, that I came from the XP ORX, which has like 3 programs and that's it. So there's a lot for me to learn, but so far I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's and I knew when we were talking before, because you are not a big person.
No.
No. And that 11-inch coil on the Deus 2 might be a little much for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a whole lot of weight, but for me, I could feel it. And since I got the smaller coil, much more of an improvement.
Yeah. Well, I think Tim, the Mumbles man, he's got like I do. I think he's got 2 of them. He's got one set up with a 9-inch coil for dirt digging, and then the 11-inch coil for the beach.
True, absolutely.
Is that what you got set up, Tim?
Yes, I do. I don't want to waste my time switching coils. Just grab the other machine and go.
Yep. Well, that's
Do you want-
kind of the way I am too. Yeah.
'cause if
Now,
you
Phil, sorry, no, Jeff, do you not have permanently the aerial for the coil to go underwater? You've got that permanent setup, do you not?
On the beach machine, yes.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. I've got the other antennas that if I want to take, my other machine, I'll just got to hook it up. But yeah, I've got it set up where I drilled a hole and ran the antenna through the shaft, and it comes out. So, yeah, I'm pretty much happy with it. Yeah, I just leave it like that because that's what I use it for is the beach.
Yeah.
With the 11-inch coil. So,
Mhm.
because I like the 9-inch coil on dirt, and I think it goes plenty deep enough.
Mhm.
Don't you, Timmy?
Yes. Yes.
What about you, Tim? You think the 9-inch coil goes deep enough on dirt?
goes plenty deep. Dirt, sand, wherever you have it, it goes plenty deep.
Yeah, it goes deep enough for me. Let me tell you. I think Phil would agree with that.
Yeah, I do. I still would like to see some different coil sizes. I like the one that Liz, you probably have it on your ORX. I think it's like a 5x9 or something.
No, I actually have the round coil on the
Oh, do you?
ORX. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like a little smaller coil when I'm relic or coin hunting, dealing with all the trash. But I was just reading some of the comments on the YouTube channel, and they were talking about the new Expedeus 2 Master metal detector with the 9-inch coil and the wireless headphones. It's just a hockey puck in the coil,
Yep.
and the back phone headphones, and that is $8.99.
So that model, you don't have the actual box or the remote on the box. Everything is in the puck.
In the little puck.
Yeah. You have to have good eyes to see that.
Yes, I
Now, that
imagine
leaves me
so.
out.
But if you're going by sound most of the time, that
yeah.
would be a way for somebody. And that's also a way for people who have the Deus to when they do have other coils available, to have a second unit set up. So you'd have 2 detectors in one. If you have another coil, you got another detector, really.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the way I set mine up. And I know John got the Legend.
Yeah, I'd like to say something about the Legend. I got it, I think March or April, somewhere in that time. So, and then it's been so doggone hot here in North Florida that I couldn't go outside when the sun broke the sky, And but I have 2 coils. I have the 11-inch coil and then the 6-inch coil. But I was able to get the 6-inch coil and go to my local parks just around my house and play in there, which I've done pretty good, I thought, considering and learning the machine and reading. I carry the book with me wherever I go, and paperwork never fails me yet. And but I do love that 6-inch coil. I'm in no hurry to get anywhere fast, so the 6-inch works, and the 11 inches for the beach. And I haven't been in the water at the beach yet with it, so I'm anxious to see how that goes.
Well, John, someone just asked on the questions there, what version of the firmware are you running in yours?
I'm stuck at 107 right now. I have a computer that's unacceptable to all that other stuff, and I didn't really want to finagle with it, so I'm at 107.
Well, that's still a good one. I think it's now 109.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with 107. I don't need a whole bunch of other stuff right yet because I can always reload it later.
Right.
And I want to know what I'm doing now and not out in the field and scratch my head.
Okay, Calabash wants to know, John, what are you running your IF and stability at?
From what I remember, it's been a while since I had it out. I'm running the stability. I think it's 1.5 or no higher than 2. And what was the other thing he asked?
The
Iron.
iron filter.
I don't have that on 107.
I say, well, you got to get it updated. So you're
Yeah.
going to have to come over and we'll get it updated.
Right. I think it's 108 comes out with the IF then. But even my kids don't have time. Kids grow up and leave the house and they don't have time to help me a little bit. So I do it on my own.
No,
If
you don't. You come over to my house. Don't be lying to these people, John.
Say what?
Don't you be lying to these people. You don't do it on your own. You come over to my house and we do it.
Yeah, that's true. Or wait for them to come up too.
That's a long wait.
But I do like the Legend. It's built like a tank, and it's fantastic. The only other thing I wish it would do is dialect. They're still playing around with coil sizes 6, 11, and 13. I would like to get an 8 or a 9-inch coil, whether it be round or a 9 by 5 by 5 or whatever. Because that little bit does. I have shoulder problems too. That little bit of weight would keep me out there a little bit longer, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Dilly's going to be back on. She's coming back in another week.
Yeah.
On the 24th, she'll be back. So we'll find out then.
Yeah, I know that she's had her hands full, so I was letting the important stuff go until we got to the coils, because they may already be thought about those, and just matter of getting around to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's for sure.
that 6-inch coil, man, that thing is sharp. That'll nail whatever you're getting. You don't have to go fast. Great separation.
Yeah. Well, I know you like the 6-inch coil that you use when you're hunting around some of those tear-out sites, don't you, Phil?
Oh yeah, I've always said it for years. You know, when I got started in this hobby, I was using White's products, and of course they're like our president says, or they were like what our president says: 2 words, "Made in America."
Uh-huh.
They were made in America, and they had the only way we could deal with the iron, because the processors were so much slower then, was to use a smaller coil. And I used a 4-inch coil, on the Whites. And I had a friend who used it, who since passed away, who's hunted a lot with, kind of a mentor, and he used a Fisher, I think it was a 1280X or something. I can't remember the exact number, but he had it looked like a 2 or a 3-inch coil. And he got me started doing this relic hunting, and we were hunting in downtown Tampa. And being that the activity was there 200 years, there'd be iron everywhere. And that's the only way we could handle the iron. Now, today, with the faster processors, you can get away with using a bigger coil and going deep and separating the iron with those, like the Deus 2 or the Legend or other detectors with a fast processor. But even with that, I still like to use a small coil. Now, with that being said, if I find some old artifacts or old coins or whatnot, I'm going back over that same property with different size coils. And you would be amazed, you still find stuff. And I just like doing that. I always start with the small coil first.
Good.
And Tim, what you generally run the stock coil, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I use in the water the 11-inch, and on the land the 9-inch. In the water, the Deus 2 kind of messed me up a little bit. I thought that I had lost the ability to recover my targets. Usually, you're used to taking 2-3 scoops out of the sand and your target's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take 2 or 3 scoops out, nothing in the scoop. So I said, well, maybe it's floating around, maybe it's a piece of foil or something, but I'd run the machine over it again. It's still right there, right dead center in the bottom. So I take a couple more scoops out, nothing in the scoop. Not till you get down to about 5 or 6 scoops, and that's a lot of sand you're moving.
It is. I tell you what, you get a workout plus.
Absolutely, you do.
Well, like I said, I found the dime on Daytona, and you were there when I found it, and it was probably 26, 27 inches deep.
Yeah.
It was a dime. And it's unbelievable. And that was with a 9-inch coil. So it's unbelievable to me just how deep that it is, And I think you're finding that too, aren't you, Liz? That you're digging deeper targets.
Yeah, I find myself, depending on where I am, just really, really lowering the sensitivity because I don't want to dig to China.
That's right. Especially with COVID on the run, don't go to China. You might pop right back up and bite us,
Oh.
Well, I noticed you found something the other day, some kind of a little diamond ring. I saw your video.
Oh, yeah. The white gold diamond ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, something, I was so excited that I guarantee you I left diamonds in that hole. Guaranteed, because there was a whole bunch of diamonds missing. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even look at it. I was just so excited because I get excited over everything.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
It just makes the day go a lot better and have more fun.
Yes.
So that's kind of the way it is. And we've talked about the relationships. Phil, why don't you kind of expound a little bit on some of the relationships that you've made in this hobby?
Oh, I was going to say that a good place to start if you're new to this hobby, to finding somebody to hunt with, is a metal detecting club, and that's where I met a good friend of mine who's since passed away, and he was very active in the club, and his name was Jim Singleton, and he lived close to downtown Tampa. So as I built a relationship with him, he would call me when he saw any type of activity going on, and then we would go hunt in the evenings after I got off work, and it just made it nice to have somebody who lived pretty close, within 10 minutes, to go do some hunting. It's always nice to hunt in a group, even beach hunting like we do together, Jeff. Nice. I think it's there's safety in numbers, and if you're into relics and coins, you're always hunting in the old neighborhoods. So, and those generally aren't sometimes the best neighborhoods. So it's always good to have friends. And it's even better to have friends who have concealed carry permits. That's always nice. I'm not big into carrying more gear. I just figure I'm a big guy. I got my shovel. But it's nice when you have friends who have carry permits if you're hunting in rough areas.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jon, what about you? Hello.
Say what?
What about you?
On
Relationships in the hobby.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that we're all together. There are no clubs where I live, Tallahassee. Everybody likes it to be single up here for some reason or another. I go into Georgia, which is just 15 minutes up the road. And there's nothing up there unless you get up around Atlanta or Albany, and that's too far to go just to metal detect in less time than what it takes to drive. But so I'm glad I'm with Jeff and Phil and Tim, and hopefully see Liz come summer.
I hope so. I really do.
And I did meet 2 other people, by the way. I forgot about them for a second. But one lives in over by Valdosta, not far from where Jeff lives. And but he part-time. He's got medical problems too. So we don't talk, what's wrong with you this week? Or nothing like that. We're just glad that we're out and about.
Yeah, we'll do a big live spot from Phil's shop.
We do the curb strips and parks and stuff like that, and make sure on the curb strips you don't do a manicured one, because people have been taking care of it, so you kind of pass them up and go for the ones that the city mows the grass or something, or the county.
And we also go to eat barbecue, don't we, John?
Oh, yeah, but you got to eat a small portion, which is that big.
Yeah.
They know how to eat in Georgia, I guarantee you.
Yeah. they do.
Two plates is a small portion.
That's right. So, how do you feel about it, Tim?
I think that's probably the best part of metal detecting is making friends, finding new friends.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like life, you know. You make friends, people that you enjoy being around, doing things with. That to me, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that. And just like Phil said, there's kind of safety in numbers.
True.
And it kind of works like when John and Tim and I, if we all go to the beach, you know, John has got some health problems. So we keep an eye on him. And even, you know, when we're all in the water, like we're down in Tampa, and Phil's out, and Ricky T was with us the last time we were out. Tim, unfortunately, was out of the country, so he couldn't join us. But when he's there, we all kind of keep our eye on each other because you don't know. You know, there's a bunch of weirdos out there, as everybody knows, and it's always good to just kind of, you know, keep an eye on each other. And I know, Liz, when you've got some friends that you hunt with up there, you guys go out in the woods and some of the fields and stuff, and you kind of keep your eye on each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, it doesn't matter how bad of a day you are actually having, guaranteed that at least the person that you're with or the people that you're with are going to find stuff, and that you can at least join in their little celebration, and you know, it stops you from getting really, really down on yourself. So it's absolutely incredible to dig with people.
Yeah, sometimes you just get the mumbles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, competition. That's it when you got a
That's part of
group.
life.
That's right. Yeah, but you know, usually when we hunt with Tim, he likes to appear and drop stuff on you. You know, he opens his hand and goes, "Here, look what I found." Boom. You know how he got his name, don't you? He come up with something. Nobody's finding anything. He comes up, bloop, and then you go. He gives you the mumbles. That's why we call him the Mumbles Man.
Yeah. And sunglasses. He loves sunglasses.
Yes, he had. Well, Phil's done. Phil can give you the mumbles too. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I like to be the Mumbles Man.
Well, I think you know, Timmy is enjoying his reign. Let me tell you.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I know. So now next week, not this coming week, a week after that, well, Tim and I will be down in Daytona. So we'll be covering the beaches there. And hopefully maybe, you know, with Ian going through, I know it's, you know, it's a remote possibility, but maybe take some sand off. We'll see. Whatever it is, we'll have a good time.
I had somebody email me a video of where he was hunting in Daytona, and the area he was hunting, it had removed a bunch of the sand.
Good.
And he found a couple, what was it, buffalo nickels?
Standing Liberty.
Yeah,
Walking Liberty.
so some stuff was found.
Oh, cool. Well, I know Tim found a V-nickel
Nice.
on Daytona. Couldn't believe it. We had to look 3 or 4 times at it to be sure.
I thought it was play money for sure.
Yeah, we thought it was because, you know, you don't think about finding a V-nickel on the beach in Daytona.
Yeah, because so many people hunt there, but it might be there now, but 3 or 4 feet under sand, and yeah,
Well,
some
that's
light
it.
storm come through, take it away, it'll get exposed, and somebody can
Yep.
find digs it.
So well, let's hope that it continues to take the sand away.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So what's coming up in the life of the Digging Canuck?
Oh, well, it's fall. Hopefully soon. The fields will be ready. John has a bunch, not our John here. John, my friend John, has a bunch of permissions, some pretty exciting permissions. So I'm looking forward to getting back out in the fields and on the home sites.
There you go.
That'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we got a busy schedule, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
With Treasure Talk, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up with that, and a bunch of new detectors coming out, and all kinds of good stuff. But is there many tear outs and stuff down there by you for you to hunt?
Charles and I tried to call somebody who had a house they're getting ready to build, but can't get them to call me back. So I think I'll be detecting that one. But yeah, I'm looking for the weather to get a little cooler. It's still kind of warm,
Yeah.
If it would get into the 70s, it would be just perfect for land hunting for sure.
It was supposed to be that way up here next week. I mean, next week, like on Wednesday, the high's only going to be 69, so it's going to be cold.
Yeah, that is chilly. And of course, in the wintertime, and Tim and I have hunted one of the bay beaches when it was a negative tide, where the negative tide, the water is completely out. You can cover a lot of ground. Now, they're locals beaches or Tampa Bay beaches, so your finds aren't generally as nice as the tourist beaches, but you still have a chance of finding some gold. So I'll be watching the tides for that.
Yeah, well, up here, when it gets to the fall and the winter time, that's when we do our dirt digging. Not much in the summertime. When it's 95, 100 degrees, I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah, especially when it's 100% humidity too.
Yeah.
That's what gets you.
And John can't really hunt during those times because he can't catch his breath. But I've got us a couple of good permissions. I don't know how good they're going to be. They're very, very old. There was a church that burned at about 1850 on the one site, and I know there's I sent Tim some pictures the other day. I was out walking around. There's an old cemetery out there, and there's some people from the late 1700s buried there, and a lot from the early 1800s. So there's been activity. Now, whether or not we're going to find anything, we just don't know. That's always a crapshoot, but we're going to give it a shot. And I'm going to try out Gary Blackwell's Nero programs.
Right on.
And see about that. Because to me, that program just makes good sense. If you're on a site that's old, either it's iron or it's not.
Yes.
2 tones is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give that a shot and see what happens. I know John will probably bring his legend over.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see what we can find. It's pretty easy walking, John, so you'll be all right. So and then Tim's coming up in a couple of weeks, and we're going to hit it hard. So we generally do that about twice during the winter time. Tim comes up, and then we go out and hit it hard, and then we go down to Daytona a lot, and I go down to Tampa. So we make sure we get together.
We try to stay busy.
Yeah. Calabash wants to know about the pitch program. Any of you use it? I do use the pitch program. I really like the pitch program.
That's like the BP program, Jeff?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I like the best. And I use that most.
I like pitch. What about you, Tim? Do you like the pitch?
I don't use it very much. I mean, I grew up using like 3 tones or 2 tones, but I'm trying to work myself into it.
Right. How about you, Lizzie? Have you used the pitch?
Not a lot, but Jean P says that she uses the pitch, especially in iron.
Yeah. It's very, very good for that because when you get a non-ferrous signal, it's right out there. And I think that's what you really like about it, Phil, is, because you're using it on your beach program, the pitch mode, and it kind of reminds you of a pulse machine.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, it just has the same sound, or a gold prospecting detector or program. Yeah, I like that. I think it's cool. And it's neat that they have all these different options in that detector. It's just pretty cool that they've got all that.
Yeah, yeah. It's to me, I just love the detector. So, everybody likes what they like, and that's a good thing.
Mhm.
It is.
Like you said
Manufacturers
earlier,
are happy. Everybody's happy.
with all the new detectors coming out, and the Mind Lab Manticore, we're gonna see how that is.
Yes,
You had
absolutely.
it in your hands, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Phil?
The Manicore, of course, we had it in the shop. I was impressed with it. The build looked better than the Equinox. The coil ear issue, the arm cuff issue is gone and taken care of, it looks like. And as long as it, you know, as the build quality is better, we don't have people having them leak, it'll be a perfect detector. The 2D imaging on the bottom is a little small for me to see, but maybe they can change the program on it so you can see a little better. But you could clearly see two different targets on this display. So I thought that was kind of cool. But it's not like if people had asked me, hey, could you tell that's a ring or a beaver tail or a pull tab? No, you really can't. It's not defined enough to see that. But maybe down the road, technology will be different and it'll get better, and the image quality might be better. But it's still a cool feature. So,
Yeah.
it took some of the features that are on the Legend and on the Deus too. It's like these manufacturers say, "Oh, that's a good feature. We'll do that too." So it's cool. But the consumer wins all the time, of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you looked at the Manicore and what my thoughts were on it, that it looks more like the build of the Legend, actually, and they took some features from the Legend, the vibration feature, the flashlight feature, and the different levels of the backlight. I think it looks like they took the cam locks from the Deus and the pitch mode from the Deus 2, and a couple other things from the Deus 2, the positioning and that type of thing. So just like you said, all the detectors out there, they can take the best of what the people like, and the consumer wins.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I tell you what, this hour has flown by,
Yes,
and I
it has.
apologize again for not being able to stream to Facebook. Facebook is being Facebook. I have that to deal with again. So we'll see how that goes. I get hacked and I lose all my rights. So, the hacker, the criminal, or whatever, he's the one that's got all the rights with Facebook. So, anyways, we'll get it back up before on Monday night show, where Monday night Grant Hansen's going to be here on Treasure Talk, and he's going to be talking about the Deus 2. He is with XP Deus. He's very accomplished on the Deus 2. He took it over to England. He just recently back from a trip to England where he had found some really cool stuff. So it should be a pretty good show. And then the week after, on the 24th, Dillick's going to be back along with Dwight and the Siren Kimmy for a Nocta show.
Awesome.
So we got some good stuff coming up. And I know Dillick was supposed to be here last week. And a young lady by the name of Patty Disharoon won a Legend. And Dillick was just, she wants to apologize to people for not showing up. So we'll talk to her again on the 24th. So I think we are out of time. So my sister from another mister, as always, thank you so very much. And I will see you definitely next week.
All right. Great to be here.
Phil, my brother from another mother. I know I'll see you.
Monday night.
See you
Happy
Monday
hunting.
night. Give Joss my love. I love you. John David, you're my brother.
I know that's right. And I'll call you.
All right. I love you, man. Mumbles, man. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
You are my brother from another mother. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it. Great night.
And
thank
thank
y'all.
you.
For sure.
Happy hunting and dig deeper, everybody.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Now,